right, so we should be live. I just need to wait a second for the comment section to open up so that I can see you guys and see your comments. Gonna bring up a couple notes for you guys. So if you are watching from the group, there we are, so I can see the comments now. All right, so if you're watching from the group, go ahead, drop a comment or hit the like button so I know that you can hear us. Because if you can't hear us, then what's the point, right? You guys need to be able to hear us so that we can make sure the message is getting across. We're just gonna wait a couple seconds for some of you guys to join. I see, okay, we got a couple likes, awesome. All right, and drop a comment if you can hear me okay, just say I can hear you, and then we'll get rock and rolling here in just a second. About 4 guys jumping on in here, awesome. All right, so we're gonna get this podcast started. Let's see, what are we on? We're on like podcast like 6 now, right? I think I might have typed 5, but it is 6, guys. So podcast 6. All right, so we're gonna rock and roll just a second. I'm just gonna give my little intro for you guys. John, awesome, so you can hear us. Awesome, perfect. So guys, welcome to the Military Dads Fitness Podcast. This is episode number 6. And today we're gonna be talking to Ted here about his amazing progress going through 12 weeks of his transformation. If you're listening live in the Facebook group, go and interact. I have the comments pulled up there to the side so I can see what you guys are saying. And if you have any questions, I'd love to answer those questions for you. If you guys are listening on Spotify or listening on Google Play or anywhere else you get your podcast, you can join the Military Dads Fitness Facebook group where we go live with these podcasts just by going to go.militarydadsfitness.com/join, and you can join the group right through there. So we're going to go ahead and kick off this podcast right now. I got Ted with me today. Ted, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the guys in the group? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm a Navy vet. Although, vet's not a verb, right? So that's just what I was, what I am. But what I do is I'm an outside sales rep. I do some sales and marketing. I own my own sales and marketing agency. So on the road quite a bit, traveling quite a bit, out meeting with customers. And so that has made my fitness journey a little bit more difficult. My family, I've got a wife. We've been together 27 years. And I'm blessed there. I'm blessed with 4 kids and 4 kids and 4 grandkids. I just turned, in fact, today's my birthday. I just turned 53 today.
Happy birthday. All right. 53, big 53. You can't forget that extra kid, right?
No.
That was not quite my favorite one, right? No, I'm just kidding. Of course, they're all your favorite. My wife asked me the other day, which one's your favorite? I was like, I can't answer that question. There's no way I can answer that question. I'm sure it'll come up in once they're older and want to ask me, Dad, who's your favorite? Just walk away, right? Just walk away. Awesome.
Unless the others are around, you are.
Yeah. All right. So take us on a little bit of a journey. Tell us your story a little bit. Let's take me like 6 months ago. Where were you at as far as your health and fitness? What was going on there? How were you feeling?
So about 6 months ago, I'd been in the same place that I had been for the previous 10 years. I'd plateaued. I'd hit, I was about 30, 40 pounds overweight, and just couldn't seem to drop it. Couldn't seem to, as much. And I like to work out. I like to do jujitsu. But even that wasn't doing it for me. And I finally, came to the realization that, okay, I like to work out. I like to stay in shape, but unless I made some leaps and bounds with my diet and my mindset, I was just going to stay where I was at. So I had seen your posts on Facebook. I'd seen, some of the guys talk about how much weight they had lost. And I just knew that I needed to do something different. Otherwise I was just going to stay where I was at. So for me, a lot of it is, I am 53, but age is just a number. And so especially with jiu-jitsu, my gym, it's a pretty good sized gym. In fact, there's actually 2 locations and there's probably 150, 200 people that train in there, and they all seem to be 30 or younger. And and I was just gassing out, and I got tired of that, tired of losing matches because of my cardio. Um, so I figured there had to be something more, and especially being over 50, I figured I had to try something different.
Absolutely. So feeling all gassed out when you're trying to keep up with the younger guys, what other things do you feel like you were kind of missing out on when you were just out of shape, and what were you feeling then?
Um, so a lot of it is, especially for me, if I'm out on the road all day, get back to the hotel at night, it's really easy to just turn on the TV and order a pizza and feel like shit. And that kind of just you kind of get in that habit of doing that, and it just rolls in day out, and um, I just did not feel good. I didn't have the energy. When I came home off the road, I didn't have the energy, and that affects how I'm interacting with my kids that are still at home, how I'm interacting with my wife. I've got a 3-year-old grandson that loves to wrestle, loves to play, and I felt like I was missing out doing that with him. So I knew I had to do something different, and I also, when I did work out, I've been doing the same workouts since I was in the military. Um, Not that they were all bad, but man, it gets boring. you know, Doing that same routine 3, 4 times a week in between doing jujitsu. It's like, man, I'm going to do this again. So there was no excitement, and it was just really easy to just skip that workout because monotony.
Absolutely. Yeah, and a kid could like overwhelming sometimes. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You try to maybe do something new and just unsure. And guys,
Yeah.
if you're listening from the group, like if that's you and you're doing the same things over and over again and you're just not getting the type of results that you want, just comment me below. I'd love to reach out to you and have a discussion to see what's really going on there. But Ted, like how did that make you perceive yourself? Like what did you perceive yourself as going through all that?
Um, I was frustrated, and I am getting older, but I was frustrated with um, my lack of progress, I guess I would say. And I felt like, okay, maybe it's just, maybe you're just old, dude. And I, I don't like that. Maybe I am getting older, right? I'm in my 50s, but I still train with a few guys that are older than me that have the energy, watch their diet, um, and are they don't gas out like I was gassing out. Um, so I think frustration was a lot of it to what drove me to make this change. And I'm still learning. I'm still trying to make the change on a daily basis. So a lot of the things that you've talked about through that 12-week program, I beat myself up pretty hard if I have a slip, right? But um, you talked about that in the program, and so it's like, okay, maybe I had a slip yesterday. Maybe I did eat that McDonald's cheeseburger and I felt like shit the next day because of it. Okay, what am I going to do today to not make that same mistake, and what can I plan out better so that I don't do that down the road?
Absolutely, absolutely. And saying things like, "I feel like I'm too old." I mean, that really stuck out to me. I've heard a lot of guys say the same thing. I'm too old. I'm too
Yeah.
old to do this. But the most important thing you just said there, and anyone listening should have heard it as well. Ted just said, "I felt like I was too old." Yet he also said there was guys older than me that had more energy. You've
Yeah.
also said age isn't a number. So it's not that you're too old to be healthy or get healthy or stay healthy. It's that maybe the plan needs to change, right? Doing the same thing over and over again since you were in the military is definitely not going to get you to the results. Like if you're 25 years old and you're doing some stuff and then all of a sudden you're in your 50s, try to do the same thing. Obviously, it's not going to work. You think some things need to change. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And for me, I knew it was diet and mindset. And I mean, I like to work out, so that wasn't a hurdle for me. I mean, I already had the kettlebell, I had the home gym, and I like that stuff, and I feel great after I work out. In fact, during my day, if I'm stressed out, I go work out at lunch, and then the rest of my day is better. But what I had been doing previously is maybe I was working out at lunchtime, but then that night, I'm eating crap or I'm not eating healthy. And so I'm not getting anywhere. I'm just spinning my wheels. And that's what was really frustrating for me. So, um, I'm stubborn. I'm a slow learner. And so, when I was 20, when I was 30, I could eat whatever the hell I wanted, and still, I wasn't putting on weight. Um, it's amazing how many pairs of pants that I actually have that I just had put in storage because they didn't fit anymore. Now I pulled them out and I'm like, okay, we got to go shopping because they're now too loose.
Nice.
So,
Awesome. And aside from working out, it sounds like one of the things you were doing like back 6 months ago was workout, workout, workout. What are the things that you try to do to fix it back then?
so I'm kind of a tech nerd. So I started to investigate these diet apps, and spent a lot of money on them, especially the keto apps. Um, I talked to guys that had tried keto in the past and they had, immediate results, where they'd lost 10, 20, 15 pounds. And so I thought, okay, let me try that. So I tried that keto diet for quite some time off and on. And I would lose 5 pounds, I would lose 10 pounds, but then, 2 weeks later it's back on, or I would actually gain weight. So I was on kind of a roller coaster, which I think is pretty common for people that try dieting. Um, and so I knew there was a better way. I just didn't know what it was.
Right. And yeah, like the fad diets that have you go through that yo-yo effect and just up and down with the weight. What do you think was missing from that? What was missing from that plan to allow you to keep the weight off?
Um, I think first and foremost, mindset, the internal drive to keep after something, but compounded was that's a for me the keto or the paleo diet. Those are hard diets to maintain, um, especially with my lifestyle where I'm on the road. You can't really you can only eat so many bags of beef jerky and try to live off of that, when you're on the road. So I would say probably those two things were the hardest for me to try and maintain that.
Yeah, so mindset, and it sounds like that is sustainability aspect of that plan.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things, guys. And if you're listening, these cookie cutter type fad diets that you go on, they are good at getting some weight off. A lot of people are very successful at doing that. The problem is a lot of people end up putting that weight back on and then more because there's no sustainability aspect there. It's just like, hey, this is how you get it quick, and then whoever promoted that to you or told you about it is just off in the wind, doing something or whatever, maybe counting his money, and hasn't taught you how to keep it off. Right? It's real important that you have something that's sustainable that allows you to keep it off. Right? And if you guys agree with that, just comment below. Let me know if you agree with that or have any questions about that. So, what do you think was, other than those two things, what do you think was your biggest hurdle in reaching your goals, like through that 6 months and even before that? Like, what was your biggest hurdle that you noticed?
Um, the sustainability aspect of it. I would, in the past, I would be like, okay, I'm going to work out this day, and this day. And sometimes I would hit that, sometimes I wouldn't. But even when I did hit it, I had no idea what I was doing on the diet front. I go out to eat at restaurants, and I'm a bread guy. I love bread, right? So I'd fill up on bread or tortilla chips or stuff like that, not realizing what that's doing to me. I also had no idea what intermittent fasting was, and how good that is. Now I love it. So, I just didn't know enough. It was really lack of knowledge in what I was doing. And so I needed something and someone a complete program to really try to put me on the right path, and not just, again, like those keto diets or paleo, or nothing against those, but something that I could do that was sustainable for long term, and really have a lifestyle change.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So what did you do differently in the past 3 months? Fast forward from that 6 months, what changed for you in the past 3 months? What's something new that you tried that allowed you to get to the results that you're in now?
Um, Actually, quite a few things. One, I your program is very affordable, but I paid for it, right? And so um, that was one driving factor. I did not want to do this, pay the money for it, and then just not do it, right? I paid for it. Okay, you better stick with it and see it through. And then I also took to heart with a lot of it's not, your program is all encompassing. So it's not just about diet. It's not just about exercise. You're not just throwing that stuff at me. You're also talking about setting goals, putting it on your calendar, and really having that stuff on a consistent basis. So one of the biggest things for me was every Sunday, and I'm still doing this. I take an hour and I look at my schedule for the next week or the next 2 weeks, and I pick and I choose. Okay, I'm going to be meeting with this. I've got these meetings from this time to this time. When can I get a workout in? And I schedule that. Whether it's going to a gym, or whether it's taking a kettlebell with me, or my bands with me, or whether it's go into my basement where I've got my workout room set up, and I've scheduled my workout. So that was a big step for me. And then also I schedule my meals. There's all these intermittent fasting apps out there, right? Where the reality was, and you told me this, was okay, just schedule your fast on your calendar. It's like, duh, right? So I schedule my fast out on my calendar, and then I schedule what my meal is. With your meal plan, I'll grab it and I'll put that on my calendar, and then I'll meal prep for that on Sunday. So really, I drive my wife nuts, but she's eating really good too. She even said to me this morning, she's like, "Man, I'm glad you're back because you can start cooking again." So, I've taken that role on, and I enjoy it. I actually found out that I like to cook, and then I'm also cooking something that's healthy. So it's been a lot of different little steps that are paying dividends for me.
I love it. So just adding those little puzzle pieces in there just to formulate that full plan, formulate that full, lifestyle, instead of
Yeah.
just like, hey, quick fix, here you go. We just change the lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
By adding those little steps in there. I love that. So what is your life like now? Like how are things for you? Like what are you able to do now that you feel like you couldn't do like that 6 months ago?
I quite a few. I'm really surprised at some of the reactions that I'm getting from people that I train with, or just people that I know, on how much better I look. I think I mentioned this to you the other day, but if you've ever been in a jiu-jitsu class, you go in and you train for an hour, hour and a half, however long the class is. And at the end of the class, you stand by belt rank, and then you go through anything that's happening, and then you bow out, and that's it. So the last class I was in, the instructor's like, okay, went through everything, and before we bowed out, he says, okay, and then I just want to have everybody give a round of applause to Ted because of how much weight and how great a shape he's looking. So I was like, I didn't expect it, right? Just kind of blew me away. And then the little things like, I'm wearing pants today that I haven't worn in probably 5 years because they were just too tight in the gut. Now they're too tight in the thighs because I'm doing a lot of leg workouts, but they're big in the gut. So
It's a good problem though, right?
yeah,
Get the legs nice and swole.
and I think that was the biggest thing for me. Not necessarily the weight loss, but how you have us take weekly pictures, and then going through, especially on the app, where I can compare my start picture to where I'm at today. And it feels good, man. It feels good. And I'm not a braggadocious person, but when I look at it and I can see the change, I believe what my wife's telling me or what my teammates are telling me. Hey, man, you look good. You look better. And so it motivates me to not just, okay, 12 weeks done, go back to what I was doing before. It's like, man, I want to keep this lifestyle. I want to keep going. I feel better. I have more energy. I'm sleeping better. Um, I'm better at my job. Nicer to my family. I'm nicer to my kids, my wife. I feel different. I'm a different person.
I love that, man. I love that. Changing your lifestyle is probably the best way that you guys can actually get that sustainability. Not those quick fixes, guys. Those yo-yo stuff, it's not going to work. It's just going to get you that quick fix. You come out not knowing exactly what to do, and you just fall back into it. I love hearing from you that you have something to look forward to. What else are you looking forward to, though? Like you're saying, you're looking forward to continuing having the sustainability. You love having the mood that you have now, being nice and getting the compliments. Is there anything else that you're looking forward to doing that you weren't being able to do before?
Yeah. So with jujitsu, they do a lot of tournaments around the country, and I have done tournaments in the past with poor results, and typically it's because I psych myself out and then I gas myself out in 2 minutes. So I'm looking forward to changing that in doing some of these tournaments, whether it's local or whether it's a major tournament, and seeing how I perform. I feel like I have more self confidence now because I have stayed on this path and I have changed my life. So now can I take that to a competition mindset? Is what I'm looking forward to.
Love that. Love that. And you better post to the group like when those competitions are happening so we can all support you, because that's what this group's about. Guys, we all want to support one another, and drop a like, drop a heart, drop whatever if you feel like that's a great goal for this whole community. I want this to be a community for you guys to lift each other up no matter what level you guys are at, whether you're just starting in your journey, whether you've already crushed it and you've hit your goal weight, or you hit your goal reps or goal, how whatever your goal is. I want you guys to just use this community to lift each other up and encourage everyone that's in it. Anyone struggling with anything, just post it straight to the group. There's over 3,000 guys in here that right now that would love to just jump in and give you encouragement, no matter where you're at. Okay. So Ted, love having you on today. I love that seeing that sustainability is sticking with you. I love seeing that you're just, ready to keep rocking and rolling, keep moving forward, and keep going with your goals. So if you're listening from here and you're looking for that sustainable type plan, and you're really serious about it, you're really serious about getting something going, and you're tired of, wasting time for months, years, some people decades doing the same thing, just comment below this video, comment below and just say, I'm ready. I'll reach out to you and we'll talk. We'll have a conversation and see if it's a good fit for you. I do want to make a real quick announcement though for the rest of you guys that are listening right now. Y'all saw I posted earlier today about a 21-day plan. I'm going to give you guys all the details about that plan on Monday. So if you guys tune in to this group on Monday, set it up, set in your calendar, set a timer. I'm probably going to go live here around noon Eastern time. So noon Eastern time, you got to do the conversions for yourself there. But noon Eastern time, I'm planning on going live in this group just to talk about the details of that 21-day plan to see if you guys really want to jump on board with that. It's really the first start of the whole MDF Hero process. And I'd love to have you guys on board with it. Y'all be the first group going through. So it's going to be a beta test of this group. So I'm really excited for you guys to jump on board with that. And Ted, any closing statements, any advice that you give anybody that's kind of on the fence about, changing their situation and jumping in on something that's going to provide them with that sustainability?
Yeah. So one of the things that I kept telling myself through this process is progress over perfection, right? I haven't hit this perfect every day, every meal, but I've made progress each day. And, for me anyway, that mindset has helped me stick with this and keep going.
Awesome. Guys, keep going. Always keep moving forward. Right? I tell it to you guys as much as I can. Don't look back, right? The only time you look back is, like Ted said, just to see those initial progress photos so that you can compare it to today. But don't look back. You make a mistake today, it's okay. Brush it off. Do better tomorrow. Do something else tomorrow that's going to allow you to get the results that you want. Because if you dwell on what you're doing right now, if you dwell on that, and you made a mistake, you keep dwelling, it's just going to continue, right? The mistake isn't going to get fixed, right? If you're not going at the action taker's mindset of what was my mistake? How do I address it? You're going to keep making that mistake. Or if you just sulk and sit there and say, well, I just made the mistake, I guess I'm going to throw my hands up. Of course, you're not going to get there, right? You got to first believe in yourself, because no one's going to believe in you for you, right? If you can't believe in yourself, you can't expect others to do that for you. Now, this community, we're all believing in you, right? And that's why I highly encourage you guys, the guys that are doing rocking and rolling in this group are the guys that are posted in here and using this group as a huge source of accountability. So I hope every one of you got something out of this. Comment below with what you took out of this podcast here today. And we'll I'll come back to you guys again on Monday, and we'll talk about that 21 day. Ted, great to have you here. If you can stick around after we go live, and then the rest of you guys, you have a great weekend. All right. So the weekend's coming up. Thanksgiving's coming up. Let's make some good choices. All right. And you guys have a great day. All right. Take it easy, guys.